These are thunderstorms.
Oh, yeah.
It's picking the satellite's picking it
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. Wow.
Be here too in a second.
Oops, there it goes again. Okay. A very good evening, everybody, and it is, here at least. This is Gulf Harbour Radio, ZMH 286, Patricia and David, and we can excitedly say we have had a lovely day. Not a drop of rain. Wow. And we've even had some boats arrive to enjoy a very lovely sunny day. So that's real good. Currently, we have 20 degrees. How's that for 6:15 at night time? I know it's daylight saving time, but it's still rather pleasant. 10 knots of west. It's got a bit of northerly in it. We'll call it west-northwest. 1016.7 steady and 10% cloud cover. Actually not too sure why it's steady because David's just pointing out the front that's coming towards us, but it won't be here until later tomorrow evening by the look of it. So good news from most of the boats, except for those that are wanting wind. We have Cambria over the way there, looking like arriving tomorrow. 90 miles to go to Bundaberg. A bit of a nuisance because I think they have quite sizable fees in the weekend in Oz. But anyway, they'll be pleased to get there. 2403 south, 15348 east, and 7 knots at course of 247 with a lovely northwest 13. Northwest swell of 1.5, 40% cloud cover, and 1010. So this will be the last time we report of Cambria. And just in front of them was Taurus. So Rob and Charlene may know somebody on the customs dock. Okay, Zipper arrived in Opua today with the Agape crew, so that's good. And Camelot are not too far behind. They look as if they will get in dark 30 tonight. Their 4 o'clock position was 32 degrees 38 south, 17435 east, and absolutely lovely 223 course at 6.4 knots, 11 knots of west southwest, clear skies and less than a metre of westerly swell. And I'm just trying to read the 1018. David's looking at me. It's my own handwriting. His is worse. Anyway, Ruffian also quite excited about the lovely calm approach, given that they've got no sails. 4 degrees 33 south, 17433 east, 175 course at 5 knots of course motoring. Flat seas, gentle breeze. How about that? So they are in tomorrow. They say mid-afternoon, but I suspect with that position they will be in ahead of that time. So
happy they live.
And they will all be happy. There will be quite a lot of happy people in Opua, and I believe there's a potluck dinner on Sunday night, so everyone will be cleared with customs by then. So it will be a great cheery gathering, albeit with many tales to tell. Okay, let's go to Coho. Coho patiently plodding their way south. Go ahead.
Yes, good evening, Patricia and David. This evening we're at 30 degrees, 13 south, 170, 32 east. We're steering about 140 at 4.5 knots, and we've got 6 knots of east-northeasterly, and very fair weather sky here, so all well on board, over.
Yep, well, I'm sure you can enjoy it, can't you, when it's really lovely conditions like that, but I'm sure you will enjoy getting there too. 3013 south for Gordon and Louise on Coho, 17032 east, 140 true course at 4.5 knots. They've got 6 knots from the east-northeast. And very fair weather skies like we've got here, and I suspect Alula, who is a few degrees to the east of you, will probably be reporting much the same. So yep, there's still folk out there, Gordon, so you and Louise enjoy it whilst it's nice and peaceful. Over.
Yeah, that's great. So we'll just keep it as it comes, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Thank you.
Okay, and really good signal from you because I'm getting you from the antenna up north. How's my signal to you? Over?
Yeah, I haven't looked at the meter, but it's very clear. So it's probably 8 over. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but very clear, very readable, and no noise. Over.
Oh, good. That sounds good. All right. Now, we haven't had an email from... Oh, yes, hang on. We have got an email, and it's only just come in. So I am going to tell you... I was hoping Alula had fixed their transmit problem. Anyway, Alula is at 31 degrees, 07 south, 17601 east, and they're doing 5 knots on a course of 190 true. Motoring because there is no wind. Well, at least Coho have got a bit of wind. The swell and no swell, so it's very flat out there. It's gone down quickly, hasn't it? 10% cloud, 1008 on the bar, quite significantly different from here. So they're going to be listening again tonight to see what happens with the rest of their passage, but they are making progress at 31 there, so not too bad, and David will be talking in fact now. So we've got a couple of other boats that might be calling in. Bellina is on passage from Tonga to the Minerva region by the look of it, and Kushla has left Minerva. So what I'll do, I think, is just pass the microphone, and we might pick those up after David has finished.
Alrighty, good evening, and this time I think we'll take a look at Tonga first. So there's a trough quite visible on satellite imagery. In fact, I've got the screen right in front of me, and it just came in a minute ago. So how's that for being on time? So anyway, looking at some projections, Saturday weather for Tonga, well, you could expect cloudy conditions, showers, winds, east to southeast 10 to 15, higher in the gusts for sure. And then on Sunday, we'll look first at the Minervas, east to southeast 15 to 20, and that'll be rising up to, believe it or not, 25 to 30 at times. So a bit breezy there at Minerva, and there's a fair amount of cloud for sure from this troughing that we've got. And I would say moderate to rough seas there as well, looking at about 3 meters. So it's come up from yesterday. So for Vavau, the Hapais, and Tonga Tapu, east to northeast about 10 to 15, up to 20 at times, and again higher than that in gusts. So that's Tonga. Over to Fiji, the trough continues, the one we discussed yesterday and the day before, but it's gradually moving eastward. So Saturday I would expect east to northeast winds about 10 to 15, but shifting northerly. And on Sunday, the outlook is east to southeast about 10 to 15, moderate seas, and that lingering trough, you could expect thunderstorms and heavy showers. So that's Sunday as well. Yeah. Anyway, our Tasman high continues to move easterly. It's weak, 1019 millibar, and more or less between Fiji and New Zealand. Now there's light air in the very large middle of this, as you folks are reporting. For sure, light air. Isobars are very far apart, and the mountain of air that's typically in a high is just a little hill. So not much to talk about. Expect southeast winds north of 27 south, so above the middle of the anticyclone. Southeast winds north of 27 south. And then if you're south of 33, roughly 33 south, expect westerlies. So not much change on this for Saturday. However, Sunday heralds a new high that is midway between Oz and New Zealand, Australia and New Zealand. I'd say moderate at about 1026 millibar, 1026 millibar. Winds southerly quadrant from New Zealand to 30 south, give or take on that. So I don't think anybody's going to be too happy to hear that, but the winds don't look very strong. But again, you're on the east side of this anticyclone, and that's unfortunately what you get. But remember what I have told you about ridges. Ridges rotate. So what happens on Monday is just that. So the winds from North Cape to about 25 south, believe it or not, should shift to the southeast. And almost for sure on Tuesday that's going to happen. Winds, though, right over the North Cape area are going to be quite light and variable because that is sort of the very center of that new high that's coming through. So anyway, yachts en route to New Zealand will be under the influence of this large high, this new one. Rum line from Fiji, you'll have basically a close reach down to about 30 south, and this is Thursday, Friday time frame. But by Saturday and Sunday, the 9th and the 10th, you're going to have very, very nice winds for sailing, I think. East, southeast to east, depending upon what your latitude is. So, now, disclaimer. All of what I just said is based on 3 to 4 models that I'm looking at. And I have to emphasize again that models are just ideas. So keep that firmly in mind. So tomorrow we'll do basically the same thing, see what has changed, and hopefully everybody will be pretty happy. Pretty happy. So here's the chief.
All right, so I'll just give you Zoomaxes for those following Zoomax heading to the canal. 0518 north, 106 degrees, 16 west. Still heading east, 090 true at 7 knots, 12 to 14 south-southwest, 1.5 metre swell and 40% cloud cover. And they have a dozen blue-footed boobies. I forgot to tell you that, David. They are absolutely hilarious birds. I love the blue-footed boobies that you see around the Galapagos, and obviously from 106 degrees. I don't know what they're doing way out there in the ocean. So that's a good day for them there.
That's amazing.
All right, I'll just see if there's anybody else wanting to check in. This is Gulf Harbour Radio. Hello, Benno, and good evening to you too, Marlene. I saw you on your way. I presume you're headed to, by the look of it, to the Minervas. Over.
Roger. Good evening, Patricia and David. So how do you copy?
Very good copy on you. Go ahead.
Yeah, my position is, we left yesterday Tonga Tapu and on the way to Minerva. And the position is 2303 south, 17733 west. The course over ground is 240 at a speed of 9 knots. The wind is 12 to 15 from the east-southeast. The swell is about 2 meters. Cloud cover 70%. And 1016 on the bar. And all well on board. Over.
Missed the cloud.
Yeah, I think you said 70% cloud. There was just a bit of a static crash. And was it 2 meters swell? Over?
Yeah, Roger. 2 meters over.
Okay, we have Belina who left Tonga Tapu yesterday. They're a catamaran. 23 degrees 03 south, 177 degrees 33 west. 240 true at 9 knots. 12 to 15 knots from the east-southeast. Gosh, it couldn't be better for Ballina, could it? 2 metre swell and 70% cloud cover, 1016, and all well on board. Yeah, there's looks like a half a dozen or so are there at Minerva, so you'll have company. Over. Yeah, there's about half a dozen on the AIS. Others might be there, but there's still a few boats in Minerva. A group left yesterday as well. Over.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, there will be some friends in Minerva we hope to meet, and there we wait for a good weather to continue to New Zealand. Thank you very much, Patricia and David. All well here, and talk to you tomorrow. We hope to get there with the first sunlight tomorrow morning. Over.
Yep, roger that. North Minerva then at daybreak tomorrow, so that's good. David wants the microphone, and then I will be calling Mackay.
Yeah, hi Benno, good to hear your voice again, and I am looking at that satellite image that I told you came in about a minute ago, and where you are and where it is, right on the edge. You're right on the southern edge of this very, very large troughing that runs basically southeast to northwest. Some high clouds, but then right on the edge, I see some thunderstorm activity on the edge, but then all of a sudden you break into much lower cloud, and hopefully that'll stay. If that trough moves to the northeast, then it will make Minerva a little more pleasant, but it may be okay there now. We haven't heard anybody that's physically at Minerva, and if anybody is there and they happen to really want to try out the radio, they could tell me what the weather actually is in Minerva. That would be appreciated. But when you get there, Benno, I know you're good with the weather, so I will be anxious to get your report. So anyway, good to hear from you. Over.
Yeah, thank you very much, David. It looks like to the north there's more cloud coverage than in the south, and so far it was quite dry, no rain except a few minutes drizzle, but no squall, and it was a beautiful run so far. Over.
Yeah, it's good you're doing 9 knots. Poor old chameleon would be in it. All right, it's good to have a fast boat when it's that situation. Okay, have a good night, you two, and a good arrival there, and say hello to the Pogean crew for us. Okay, just clear with Ballina, and I just want to check that Mackay got safely into Wallace. Mackay, Gulf Harbour.
Roger, Trish. This is Mackay. Good afternoon.
Yeah, and I presume all is well in Wallace. So what's your weather like, and did you get in time? Over.
Yeah, Roger got in and dropped the hook at 9:40 this morning, and all is well here. Very light winds at the moment. It is calm, but has been gusting from several directions at about 4 to 5 knots. So not much happening. It's mainly been out of the southeast, but it does clock around to the north every now and then. Sky condition is 100% overcast, and we've had some light rain on and off throughout the day. All is well here. Really not a whole lot to report. The bar is up about 4 tenths from yesterday. We've got 1014 on my barometer. 1014. It was 1010 yesterday. Over.
Yeah, roger that. And did you do all the clearance stuff today?
Yeah, Roger, got half of it done today. I was able to get through immigration today, but customs was closed, so I'll go back on Monday to do customs. But I'm free to roam about the island as I wish. Over.
Good. Good island situation. All right. Well, enjoy Wallace for the weekend. Yeah, I see. Presumably you'll get everything done on Monday. All right, we'll clear with Mackay. I don't know whether Kushla was going to be calling in. Is there anybody else wanting to call in? Soy Libre, where are you, Andy?
Am I coming in okay?
Yeah, you are. Not strong as Barry, but you are good and clear. There has been some sun activity on the higher bands, but it's certainly no problem on this band tonight, so go ahead.
Okay, I'm at 18 degrees, 29 minutes, 177 degrees, 53 minutes, through 36 feet of limit, and it should be at the reef tomorrow morning. I'm currently on a course of about 300 and doing about 4 knots. And the wind is coming out of the north and east, and it's varying, really about 10 knots, maybe up to 12. And clouds are 100%. It's pretty flat out here. And barometer is 1014.
And where are you headed to? What's your next stop going to be?
I think I'm going to be doing Muscat Cove.
Okay, well, there's plenty of people still there at Muscat. 1829 South for Soy Libre. I love that name. 17753 East, 300 true, and 4 knots. Very pleasant evening by the sound of it. Sort of a northeast, varying between 10 and 12, lovely and mild. 100% cloud cover and flat seas 1014, and heading to Muscat. Yep, well, you'd think that it would be clearing out, but the boats are still piling into Muscat, even though a lot have left. So, but you'll find a space. Over. All right, we'll clear with Soy Libre. Is there anybody else? No, and we've got Kotanui has just checked in on the internet. They were at Port Resolution. Didn't say whether they, oh yes, visited the volcano last night. So they're now heading up to Port Vila with 20 knots out of the southeast with a 1.5 to 2 metre swell, and all well on board. And here's a hello from Kushla. They are 50 miles southeast of Minerva, left them today, and it's 15 knots, gusting 20 from 100 magnetic, so we'll call it an easterly, I suppose, or haven't actually checked what the models say. So thank you for that, Andy. That's Kushla at the back end of the group that have left Minerva. So good to get the conditions there. Appreciate that. Okay, that's about it from us. I didn't hear anybody else. Thank you for those reports coming in, and we will be back again, of course, tomorrow. And Barry, I don't know whether you remember Paul from Somerset. They are now way up in Alaska, having left here a couple of years ago. They went right round Australia and up through Asia and so on and so forth. But Paul is actually in the country because he had to come back for exams, and was going to visit at Hamnet time tomorrow, but he'll be in the afternoon. So yeah, all is good with them. They are certainly not letting anything grow on those twin hulls of Somerset. Okay, cheers everybody. This is Gulf Harbour Radio, and we are clear.
Good night, Trish.
Night, Barry.
Good night, Trish.
This is